Should be live, right? Let's see. You good?
Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local or national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Get It. Jay is on. He is fired up this morning. He is ready to go. We jumped in these seats. It was like a 30-second timeout, jump in the pit stop.
Right.
Welcome to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, along with co-host Jason Bryce and Marcus Bullock, coming to you after a few weeks off, but we are excited to be back live here to talk about a lot. Of course, we're going to talk about the Philly season. Thank you to the Phillies. And I know Jay has a few things he wants to say about it. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into it. And obviously talk about the undefeated Eagles. We'll see how things go with them. And I know he's got the Monday Night Football game coming up and talk about some other issues. Also bring up Kyrie Irving and that issue and Houston Astros. Just a little bit of everything. And, of course, the Philadelphia 76ers who got off to an up-and-down start to the season. A big win last night over the Hawks. Joel Embiid with a big night, 42 points. But before we get into any of that, Jay, how have you been? How you doing?
I am doing okay, son. You know what I mean? I'm doing good. No, that's just my New York thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Even Carl Marcus on that.
I never say that.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, how is Randy going to respond to that? I knew where you were coming from.
The funny thing is, I know the voice. But
that's just my New York thing. Plus, when I'm multitasking, it just, you know.
Oh, I know.
That's what
I've heard that.
It slipped because I
That's
actually
okay. I've heard that plenty of times, and it wasn't a meaning of
it's not disrespect. I'm not trying to sun you. You know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that.
It's a difference.
No, because when you do try to do that, I've seen that.
When I try to sun you?
The eyes change, the facial expression change.
You felt like I've already tried to sun you. I didn't even know that. Why?
No, I've seen it.
Why didn't you tell me this off air? Why did you wait to come on here?
No.
When I've tried to sun you. You know what I'm saying?
You never have done it directly to me.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying, when I've seen it.
You've seen I've tried to sun other people. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, I'm doing well.
I've seen it.
You seen me try to sun? Yeah. Oh my gosh! All right, so I have to work on some things. Okay, so be with me. But I'm doing well, man. I'm a little got like this allergy thing going on. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not that thing, you know what I mean? Because I got, I had I must admit though, every time I'm around someone that like sneezes or whatever, I just feel like, is it like, it might be, what do they call that? Hypochondriac? Mm-hmm. I think I'm a hypochondriac. My daughter came over and she was just like disrespectfully sneezing. And then now my younger daughter's disrespectfully sneeze. I mean, but the younger daughter sneezing is ridiculous. It's like maybe like 8 to 10, like back to back. And I'm yelling at her like, blow your nose, blow your nose, blow your nose. But what happens when you blow your nose and you still sneezing?
So what's an acceptable number?
I just, what would you rather? Would you rather sneezing or coughing? I think I'd rather coughing.
I'm still coughing for like month 8.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't know what's going on.
I prefer coughing.
Yeah, because I feel like
coughing.
sneeze is like,
You get
it's like a stream.
Exactly. You have no one,
and you can tell when it's like.
And then it depends how long people do it. It's like, whew.
Yeah. So I've been kind of a little under the weather. I'll say that, but it's not that thing because I had that little thing, and it's just not that. I got thousands of tests. You know what I'm saying? So It's not that thing. But I don't know. It just wasn't. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to have a joyous ripping and running weekend, right? So I've been off since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm off tomorrow, right? That's like a nice little vacay, right? I promise you, I've spent most of the time in the bed watching movies. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. I guess I needed that, right? Yeah. But it's like, I've been napping, sleeping. My body was tired, like, you know what I mean? But I've watched some very good movies. Very good movies. Very, very.
All right, what's your number one suggestion?
This movie called Barbarian was crazy on HBO Max. This other movie called Spotlight was banging. But the last movie that I think I watched before I fell asleep on Inside Man last night was Greenland. Greenland is dope. So these are all HBO Max movies. I don't know if y'all have HBO Max. Okay. Greenland. And then this other thing called Calm Down, Darling, or Where Are You, Darling? Where the man wishes that his wife was in 1950s. And that's a crazy movie. It's crazy. So I recommend watching that too. I just watched a whole bunch of good movies. You know what I'm saying? I watched the movie about the young Tony Soprano, The Many Saints of Newark. That was dope.
Okay.
I've just been watching a bunch of movies, yo. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing. So I guess it's been okay, man. I've been all right. I'm still alive. I'm good. So it's all good. You know what I mean?
It's funny. I've actually said that I want to go back and watch The Sopranos again from the
I
start.
started doing it.
Did you?
I started.
See, I started too, but it got boring though.
It did. That's how I was. I just couldn't.
You couldn't start
I couldn't
it again.
keep it going. Like
Yeah.
I got like 4 or 5 episodes in.
Yeah,
I was just like,
right. Yeah, you're tired. Yeah, I'm trying to do The Wire.
I could watch The Wire every day. I
think The Wire. I think The Wire is probably a better
Yeah?
one.
You just gotta skip season 2. I mean, you gotta watch it, but like season 2
Right.
is not.
Not that good. Okay.
All right.
So I gotta maybe try that one. So I started the first one, but then I started watching movies, whatever. So I'll figure something. You know what I mean? But I'm doing all right though. I appreciate you asking. I mean, I'm sad about the Phillies though.
No, you're not.
I am.
Marcus, I'm going to ask you, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I did not have 5 days off, unfortunately.
No.
But no, all's good. Just gearing up for basketball season, getting ready to start. Back, just in the grind.
Now, how's the team looking this year?
I mean, we should, on paper, we should be solid. We have 3 starters coming back, 6-man coming back, a couple transfers in, a couple younger kids who improve. So, I mean, if we can put it all together, if everybody can buy into their role, which is going to be our biggest thing, then we'll be pretty good.
All right. Well, listen, Jay, I gotta ask you this.
Well,
you
how
said
you doing? We didn't
I'm doing
ask you.
good. I'm doing
I
good.
asked you how you doing.
Listen, I'm doing good.
I see you got this. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, this is just I just grabbed this before I left the house. I had no meaning behind it.
I don't believe that, but I'm actually I do believe that, but but you meant to put it on though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So it has meaning behind it.
I needed a little coat, so
Right.
right there by the door.
You
The hat
didn't
was
say,
there.
"Oh, let me wear my Eagles jacket."
No, it's just I have like a standard. This is just a standard jacket this time.
You did
of year.
say, "Let me wear my Eagles jacket," though.
No, because I have a standard coat that's out this time of year. I mean, because I know, hey, I'm going to need a little zip up this
Coach,
time of year.
when you
and
got-
the Eagles one works this time of year.
Okay, watch. Let me just prove you wrong.
Go ahead.
Coach. When you said, "You know, I could wear this hoodie." You know what? Let me put my.
I said, oh, yeah, I got that. Let me put that on.
I'm saying that. So you did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Without realizing that. I'm not saying that you didn't try to make a statement with it. Is that fair? But
Fair.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair. I
But
didn't make it.
You didn't try to make a statement with it, but you did say, I could wear this other jacket. I could wear this other jacket. But you know what?
No,
I'm going to wear my
no,
Eagles
because I have
jacket.
one coat that's hanging by the door. Others, if either way,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I heard. Well, we got squirrels a little bit. I don't know.
if we have a squirrel inside here, it's going to be an interesting show.
They
We
must
about-
have been
we
running
about to
around
get to-
or something. I
I
don't
was
know.
going to say we were about to get a whole bunch of views. And we
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
squirrel locked in during show.
But you did say that though. You did say, oh, you know what? I could wear this jacket.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Earlier, I didn't make that decision today.
Okay. All right.
Like I
That's
said,
right.
I was like, all right, this time of year, let me have a coat by the door to grab. It works.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. All right.
works.
And when you said let me have a coat by the door, that's the coat by the door.
Yeah,
But you chose the Eagles coat to be your coat by the door.
yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't specifically for a
no,
statement.
it wasn't a
today.
statement. No, I got you. It's all good. But you're doing well.
I'm doing very well.
All right. That's good.
I'm doing well.
That's good. I'm sad about your Phillies, though. I'm serious. Okay, I'm serious. I thought they did very well. I felt like the series was over. I'm not sure if you want to get into it now, but I felt like the
I
series.
mean, we didn't get a chance to get into it, so sure.
I felt like the series was over. They were hitting these home run bombs, and Philly was going crazy, right? Were you there? You were there that day.
Game 3. I
Right.
had to pull the trigger.
Right. You were there. I mean, they were home run bombing. I mean, everybody, the city was on fire, electric. Everybody said it's over.
No,
Finish
no,
it.
no. That was a mistake.
No.
That
But
was a
people,
mistake.
people did say that, though, right?
They did, but
Okay.
that was a big mistake.
Did you say that?
No,
Okay. Did you feel that?
no.
Okay, I wasn't. We didn't talk during those days, so I can't verify that. But I'll trust your word.
No.
But the city was on fire. Oh my gosh! I mean, for home run bombing coming in, Phillies, everybody, everything. But coach, you've been coaching a very long time. You've been coaching too. I've coached as well, not as long as you guys though. If there's any way for a team to respond, the way the Astros responded was the way to respond.
Yep.
And the minute they responded that way, I said, yo, it's over.
No, it was.
It's over.
I don't think it was over then. because I think that's the counterpunch. So the Phillies punched them in the mouth.
Right.
They counterpunched with the no-hitter.
Right.
Now, who's going to take control in Game 5?
But see, there's certain punches that you just can't come back from. And I think that punch, like the punch that the Phillies punched first,
Right.
we don't even talk about that no more.
You're right.
That punch is non-existent now.
The Astros punch was the first knockdown.
Oh my gosh! And I hate to say it, I was like, oh my gosh,
a no-hitter was demoralizing.
Than those home runs, because anybody can hit. You know what I'm saying? You can. I mean, what was it? 7 home runs or something like that. Five
that game.
5 back to back.
Oh yeah,
it was electric. It was crazy.
It was electric there.
But I mean, the way that they responded, I was like, yo. As much as I hate the Houston Astros, and I promise you, I do. I was like, yo, I think it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It was a wrap from there.
I would tell you, I have one gripe with Major League Baseball, right? Knowing that they were going to cancel that game regardless and just waiting it out, waiting it out until the end. We'll be back tomorrow night.
People were there.
Everyone was there. Everyone had bought some food. And it was all about the money because everyone was down there. And
weather's unpredictable, though.
I know this weather was pretty darn sure that it was going to nothing but rain.
I thought so. I spoke to you right before the game. I said, yo, listen, damn, it's about to rain though, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, it was a benefit. That's how I got tickets.
I'm sure it was a heck of a
That's how I got tickets because the prices dropped significantly.
Yeah. It was a heck of an experience though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Especially that game.
Yeah. Worth every penny. There was a range I was going to spend and it fell in it. I was okay, I'm going to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, man, like I said, I wanted them to win. I ain't gonna lie to you, I did. But once I saw that no hitter, I said that's a wrap. There's no way they can't come back from that.
Now it's like obviously they did and they lost now, and everyone's talking about the Game 6 move when they took out Wheeler and they brought in Alvarado. I mean, at this point in that situation, I'm not going against Thompson. He had pulled all the right buttons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he had done the whole playoffs,
the whole season.
So maybe Alvarado definitely wasn't at his best at that point.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the best move, but I think he had used the bullpen the whole way, the whole playoffs. It was obviously successful. So and it just didn't work out that time. So I mean, I can't get it. I can't be upset with that.
Listen, and at the end of the day, like I said, it was a huge overachievement. I mean, I look at where they were at. This wasn't the year that they were supposed to be the World Series. This was the year you're supposed to break through, get back into the playoffs, and you're thinking like next year might be the World Series year. And the thing is though,
I don't want you to cope with the loss that way. I don't want you to do that.
How should I cope with it? Please tell me.
Just say that we lost and we just got to come back next year and come back better. Don't say, oh, we wasn't supposed to be there. This and that. Like, no, you know what I mean? That like lost. Listen, if you're there, you could have won.
Right.
You should have won. That's the bottom line. You should have won. You didn't get it done. Let's come back stronger next year. That team is built to win. Yeah. If you get some pitching. A little more pitching, shore up the pitching a little bit. You got Wheeler, you got Nola. What's his name? Ranger Suarez is real Suarez. So
Ranger was tough in the playoffs.
He was. Yeah, but he's not going to get it. You listen. You can't tell me that. Sometimes in sports, baseball, you know what I mean, particularly all sports, you have to say, you got to have a little momentum.
You can get hot
for sure.
You got to be hot, and you got to have a little luck.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think Philly was riding that the whole way. Until that no-hitter. It's a wrap.
I mean, like you said, that's a bigger. But the Phillies threw a punch. The Astros threw a knockdown punch.
Oh my gosh!
And then they did the TKO.
Yeah, it was a wrap. And then it just seemed like everything Philly did, the Astros responded. Everything Philly did, the Astros responded.
And as much as you hate them, like I said, they are a great baseball team.
They're a great team.
And it's going to be a big off season. I mean, there's a lot of moves that people want to see the Phillies make. They want to see them go out and get Trey Turner or a big shortstop to fill the void. We'll see what happens. I want to see him personally. I want to see him add another starter.
They go get Verlander. If he's going to be available.
I think he's going to end up signing back or retiring, one or the other.
He's not gonna retire, but I mean, I think he might sign back. But he did. He did. What game did he pitch? He pitched that.
I don't know.
1 and 5.
The fifth 5.
Right, I don't know,
The World
but
Series
this-
win.
Yeah,
He lost. They lost game 1.
right.
Right, but I mean, which one? Did he pitch the one they clinched?
No, I think that was Framber.
He pitched that Sunday. That game 5.
Pitch game 5. Yeah.
Right. He pitched
ain't coming here.
He pitched just enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, Verlander
saying,
was unreal during it. That was his first World Series win.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought,
Yeah, because he's been unreal. But I mean, he's not signing here. His wife was not a fan of the Philly fans.
Did you hear what she said?
What?
So so she was flipping off everybody in the stands and all that.
Right.
But then she came on TV and was like, "Oh no, this was just friendly banter. I loved Philly. I loved being in Philly."
Oh, did she?
She said all
Okay.
that. She's like, "There was just they were doing it to me and I was doing it back to them. I loved it here. This was awesome." Like she was like,
All right. Well, there you go.
It's a friendly game of baseball, man. That's all.
But I don't know. Verlander would actually be like an ideal piece, another veteran on the team. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a long off season. You know, they let Segura go, which I'm like, I would like to see him sign back.
I did.
I'm a big Gene Segura fan. So,
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, man. It's very sad. I mean, listen. I put the tissues there just in case you want to get emotional or whatever.
I was wondering how. I did get emotional when they lost. I did. I legit.
I know you did.
I legit
I'm
cried.
sure he did.
I legit.
You thought he wasn't?
And it was.
well, I just thought because it was like we all knew it was like by that point it was over.
You know what? It was tears.
There
It
was
was
no
tears of
chance they were
joy.
winning
It was
that.
tears of joy. It was tears of joy.
It wasn't tears of joy.
It was like one of those things where
what were you gonna be joyous about?
it was. It was just such an excitement, and you knew it was coming to an end.
Yeah, that's not total. Yeah, that's called disappointment.
No,
It
that's not
happens.
true. That's not true. That's not true.
Come on, man. That's what it's called. You know what I mean? Listen, tears of joy. You would have been crying when they hit them 7 home runs or whatever.
Well,
that's
that-
tears of joy.
Right.
I couldn't
You know what I'm
believe
saying?
that was unbelievable.
That's tears like, oh my God.
Right.
That's tears of joy.
That's true.
When they
That was-
lost, you know what I'm saying? You were hurt. And
I
it's
thought
okay.
maybe it was going to happen.
I know you did.
And
I
then
know you did. I
thought
know you
maybe it
did.
was going to happen.
That no
And
hitter.
then I had to deal with the Astros fans where I was at.
Are you in Houston?
No, I was in Maryland.
No, really?
But
Astro
they were-
fans in Maryland?
No, they were there for. I was saying there was some big high school lacrosse tournament that was being held right in the area in Maryland. It's huge there, and there was sure enough some Astros fans, and they got to enjoy their,
I'm like, listen, my place where I go get my tea, and they're slipping now. They're starting to get, the tea bag bus, man. So now I'm drinking tea with the green tea leaves. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
big transition. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
I got a question for you, Jet.
Uh-oh.
I got a question.
Okay.
So this Phillies run was electric for the city, right?
I guess. I mean,
Right. Exactly. This is my point.
okay.
So as a New Yorker
Sure.
at the championship table,
Sure.
isn't it like what fun is it being a sports fan if you can't celebrate anything but a championship?
it's a good question.
So like you don't get any joy, and I'm not coming. This is a legit question.
Yeah.
You don't get any joy out of teams unless they win the championship. So, do you understand my question?
I do. I think it's about it's just when you've won,
Yes.
you know what to celebrate.
Yeah.
So let's take it. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, when we celebrate like little milestones, like it was, and this is not, I don't mean this as a disrespect. Okay, please, I want to make sure I preface myself to anybody out there that was celebrating the infamous weekend, the greatest weekend in Philly sports. Okay, but I kind of liken that to a young teenager maybe going to first or second base.
Wow, that's real disrespect.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
At least
but,
third base.
But
Don't finish that.
right. it's like that. It's like, okay, what are we celebrating there? We haven't done nothing. We played well. We've done well. I think you can celebrate it, but not get too high. I think that some teams or some fans, they celebrate and they go a little too much as if they won. So now you can come across as if they won. And you know what? I have to quote, and I hate to do this. I I promise you I do, because I'm a Red Devil. I'm a Red Devil. I can't say for life, but I'll say for life. I mean, I love Penns Grove, man. So, we had who on here? Mark DeRuggieri or whatever. That's his name. DeRuggieri. And he coached that Woodbury team that beat Penns Grove. And we were up like 8-10. And you know what he said? He said it all the time. He says, I said, hey, boys, they act like they just won. Yeah, like the game is over. And it was a whole lot more game to play. But you know what? We was in there celebrating like it was over. Like, oh, we going on to the next round. We going on. It's a wrap. And we lost. So it's like you can't get too high or too low. It's just being able to stay like kind of even keel, but still celebrate. But no, you still got a job to do.
So do you think it's, as a fan though, it's different than a player or a coach?
Okay.
So so what you're saying, in the middle of the game, like everybody celebrating like we won. I think that's different than the Phillies beating the Padres and people being on cloud nine.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but I mean, what did we really celebrate? Like, what did we really celebrate? What did we accomplish as a Philly? What did the Phillies team accomplish? What did they win? You know what I'm saying? They had a nice run, right? How much do we celebrate the Sixers 2001 run? Like they won the shit. And they ain't win nothing, but we celebrate them. The great 2001 team.
Well, I think anytime a team gets to a title game, they have accomplished something that deserves acknowledgement. Anytime
that's the difference.
But no, and I agree with you. Okay. Like that's a different. Okay. I agree. Like I agree with what you're saying about like that. But when, like, what fun is it to be a fan? Is if all we're waiting for is a championship. Like,
but that's part of the fun. The part of the fun is celebrating, the path to get there, but also that angst and nervousness about having to, still accomplish things. And that balance that you have in both of them is what makes you like this when you're on the edge of your seats. But then you can, you know what I'm saying? It's that back and forth.
So like my house, right? We're not baseball people like that at all. Mm-hmm. We watch.
We have a baseball team though.
What?
We have a favorite baseball team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not like, I didn't watch one Red Sox game this year.
Okay.
Didn't watch one. I follow them. I knew what was happening. I knew where they're at. But I didn't watch one game.
Okay.
This Phillies run had my family watching the games in the living room together.
Yes.
If they're playing the Braves and we're just like, it's the whatever series. We won't. That's whatever. Yeah. Like, what fun is that? What?
No. Okay, no. So towns, communities, they'll all come together for a common cause, and that's what you're speaking of, right? So I'm barbecuing wings for the Phillies game. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, come on, let's watch the Phillies. Like, come on, kids, let's watch the Phillies. Like, let's do it because it's. I don't
recall.
No, I promise you, I did.
Okay,
because it was a community thing. It was wow, everybody's loving the Phillies, and I'm happy for them too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, come on, let's root for our team. This is our local team. We don't have a New Jersey team, unfortunately. So we have to.
You're good. You are very strategic.
No, I'm just saying. We don't have a New Jersey team, so Phillies is our squad. Now, listen, we had like dress down days if you wear your Phillies wear. You got discounts on Phillies thing. You had billboards all over the place. So it's you buy into it. You know what I'm saying?
But yes, I'm saying, so in New York,
We would never have that. We don't have like, if you wear your 10% off Yankee gear,
No.
Oh, okay.
I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying in New York, because if you do that in New York, everybody would make any money.
Every day is Yankee.
But that's
Yankee
not the
gear.
reason why. The reason why is because it's become a stand. Like we don't celebrate those little minor. There's little minor. There's like little. We don't celebrate going to second base.
So
we
let me
celebrate after a while. After you go to second base, a lot of times going to second base, like, yo, listen, come on, yeah. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing here?
I'm gonna leave that alone. But there's no joy, there's no excitement if we're just sitting back waiting for the World Series.
So like right now,
there's no like.
No, it's still excitement though because it's exciting.
Were you locked into every Yankees game in that series?
Yes, and went to the game.
oh,
And was disappointed.
Yeah, you went to that.
And was disappointed, pissed off. 5-zip, and we only get 2 hits? Come on.
horrible.
Upset. You know what I'm saying? So, but yet, that's the fan experience.
So let me ask you
And that's
this.
my point.
Yeah, I know. We still experience it, but we just don't celebrate the little miles,
But you had nothing.
small
So you're
things.
telling me if the Yankees got back to the World Series this year,
We'd be celebrating. We would be happy.
right?
But then we wouldn't take it over the top. Like, I would still be even keel.
How do you feel about the fact that they're going to let Aaron Judge walk?
We're not going to.
You don't think so?
No, can't. I can't do it.
I think he's done. I don't think he plays again as a Yankee.
Nah. I don't buy
I
that.
think he gets whatever he wants.
Yes.
I mean, it's basically what they should do because he's worth every penny.
Yeah. I don't think that. But, I mean, he'll be a Yankee. Yankees are stupid to let him go.
Oh yeah,
It'll be like Boston letting Babe Ruth go. I'm not saying that Judge is like Babe Ruth, but you know what I'm saying?
no,
I mean,
that's
come on,
a similar comparison.
Yeah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So they can't even if they just give him and then maybe trade him, some years down the line if they feel like he's not. But he's going to be one of the greatest Yankees. He's going to be up there. You know?
Oh yeah.
So if he's not already there, you know what I'm saying? But it's just staying even keel. Like, we celebrate all the greatest weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what? I think you had everything falling together for Philadelphia, and it was an exciting. I mean, you had the Sixers, you had starting up, and you had the Eagles undefeated. You had the Flyers starting off hot. You had the Union in the championship. I mean, not that I couldn't. I tried to tune in with all respect to
They
the
lost,
Union.
though, right?
They did. With all, apparently, it was an unbelievable championship game too. Went to like penalty kicks.
Yeah, they lost though, right?
They did. I mean, so I think it was just the perfect
so
storm,
all that celebrating.
and we got nothing out of it.
What'd you bring? What'd you come home with? Now, the Eagles could still come home with something. The Eagles still have a chance.
They could.
Okay. They could. And I
I want them to lose, though. I want them to lose. I want them to lose a game. I don't like this undefeated season thing. I just want them to lose.
Why?
Because I think then you get too much hype around that. I want to see a loss.
No, I don't want to. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
The problem with them losing is there's nobody they should lose to.
And right. And that's
So if they lose, it's going to be like to a team that they shouldn't lose to.
and like if they lost, like, let's say tomorrow night, people be like, what the hell? That's a terrible loss.
Now
That's a terrible
the
loss.
world's on fire.
Yeah. Now, are we transitioning to the Eagles?
Well, we can talk to whatever you want.
Okay. Because where are we with Jalen Hurts?
I mean, I'm all in on
Is
Jalen.
he your quarterback?
That's my quarterback.
Okay.
To quote T.O.,
Okay.
that's my quarterback.
Okay, and everybody in your circle knows that's your
No,
okay.
no.
Well, then
No,
I want
I
them to
cannot
know right
speak.
now.
I cannot speak for everybody else.
No. The question is, do they know that that's your
Oh,
quarterback?
they know, and they get on me, but they were like,
Okay.
but now I'm earning a little respect because they were like, oh, okay, you did give them a little more hype earlier than they did.
So the people in your circle that he is not their quarterback, is Carson still their quarterback, or is it just he's not the guy?
They just don't believe he's the guy. They're past the Carson issue,
Okay.
but they just don't believe that he's the guy. They still want to see, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what more does this guy have to do to show that he's the guy?
And I don't think that is necessarily a. See, I don't know. I don't know.
You're right.
That's another we'll talk about that when we touch upon another subject because I can't freely say what I want to say. It's the truth. It is the truth.
Fair.
I can't freely say what I want to say or how I see it. Because I see it a certain way. I've been seeing it a certain way. But I can't freely say it. And that needs to be talked about.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that talks about here, but I think that needs to be talked about.
Fair.
Because everybody should have the right to say what they want to say. Especially, I'll just say everybody should have the right. I got to be mindful of what I say, man, because I still have to work out here.
Oh, I know.
And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and we're going to get to that subject, which I agree upon, Now, like I said, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, I just don't understand. I don't understand what more he has to do from a quarterback perspective. And, you know, because
it's just a quarterback perspective, or is it a football player? Because he's a football player first. Then he's a quarterback. The quarterback is just a position that he plays.
Okay.
But he's a football player. So ask yourself, what more does he have to do as a football player that is playing in a position that he's excelling in?
I mean, I don't think he has to do anything else. I mean, he is the quarterback.
But yet, I bet you they don't have him as an MVP candidate.
He is.
He is, and he's starting. I mean, he's starting to get his
just due.
Yeah, his just due across the national media, and people talk about putting him in the top 10 quarterbacks and whatnot. But I mean, like, if you tell me right now, give me 10 quarterbacks in the league, he's absolutely in that top 10.
But what did he have to do? He had to work hard. He had to work harder to prove people wrong, the doubters wrong, this and that. He had to make improvements in his game.
He had to put up numbers,
which he's doing, and he's absolutely showed a maturity this year. I mean, and being able to make better decisions. Mm-hmm. The arm strength looks better. So I mean, he's made those steps.
I think he has improved, or I'm not even going to say he's improved his game in the areas that he was getting the flack for. He can't do this, he can't do that. And I think he's shown that he can do it. Now I think the only thing, and I think this is fair, because I think a lot of quarterbacks get this. A lot of any quarterbacks get this. He's got to win in the playoffs.
He's got to win.
I think that's the only thing you can say. And I think he just hasn't even had the opportunity to really do that. So it's not like he's come out and lost in the playoffs. I mean, he lost the whatever, but it's just he hasn't had that opportunity yet.
That's fair. So
I think that's the only thing now you can say about him, which I think is fair because that's true. Yeah. But as a quarterback, I don't think I think he's checked the boxes that people said he can't do this, can't do that. And he's done it while winning. A lot of quarterbacks go out and put up these numbers in losing efforts.
Right.
And he's winning. So I think, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, and getting him A.J. Brown has been huge. I mean, he's getting him that huge receiver has been a big game changer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, I mean, to me, I thought he showed signs last year. I just thought that he didn't really have the talent around him like that.
You're right. He didn't have a go-to receiver.
But he was still able to help the Eagles make the playoffs. And a team that definitely shouldn't have been there. Now you talk about overachieved, they overachieved. They overachieved. Big time.
Yeah.
Okay. But they made the playoffs. They lost, of course. But they made the playoffs. Yeah,
I mean, they played Tampa Bay.
Yeah. They lost, right? Yeah. So it's all good. So, I just think that a lot of the criticism wasn't necessarily fair.
Go ahead.
But I think, and that may be true, but I think to his credit, and I think it's like anything else. Somebody comes out and plays, and what do we all do? Well, he can't do this, he can't do this. In any sport, he's not good at this, he's not good at that. Ben Simmons, he's not good at this, he's not good at that, he's not good at this. Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons could have came back, shot free throws better, shot jump shots better, and whatever, and everybody would have shut up. Mm-hmm. But now, and I think that's what Jalen Hurts has done. He can't throw the ball down the field. Boom. Can't make the throw in late games. Boom. He's checked these boxes. Mm-hmm. So now, and I think what you're getting at is any criticism that's still going towards him about his skill, there's got to be other agenda.
Right, but I think sometimes you can see the other agenda early on.
Agreed.
I think that,
but I agree. But when you as a man, as a person, when there's nitpicking at you,
Right. You go out there to leave no doubt.
leave no
Absolutely.
doubt. Now
Absolutely.
if you're now it's
Yeah.
Now-
so you can prove
now
them, so you can expose.
the cover's off.
Absolutely. And I agree. So Ben Simmons didn't do that, clearly.
Right.
No, Ben didn't.
Clearly.
Jalen didn't. But I mean, I still think go back to, and like I said, there is the other agenda, but I still goes back to the fact that Jalen Hurts got a lot of flack from the beginning for no reason. Because Jalen was put, and we talk about it too. He was put into a situation in the beginning that was an uphill climb.
What was the situation?
He was drafted in a spot where that nobody wanted. The Eagles had no reason to draft a quarterback there at that moment. At that moment, Jalen Hurts was
from the outside looking in.
From the outside, from most perspectives. So Jalen Hurts was drafted in a situation where the Eagles said, "Okay, we need receivers." At the time, that draft should have been Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf. Those two drafts, and they took Jalen Hurts in that spot when the Eagles had much higher needs. So in the fan base's perspective,
See, I don't know. I don't know. See that, and that's what I'm saying. So really, again, if we're being honest, okay, and I agree with what you're saying. Okay, well, and let me say when I say I agree with what you're saying, I agree with your articulation of what you're saying. That but the major question is that he was brought in because now he was putting pressure on Carson.
And that's why I say from the outside looking in.
Right.
Because obviously inside they knew more about Carson than we did.
exactly.
And I also think from the outside looking in that there were those that say, well, why are you bringing him in to replace Carson? We're already good at quarterback. We're good.
Yeah, and I think
Well,
that's what Randy's saying.
But we were not good.
right? But we're saying this, but at the time, we didn't think that quarterback was the main issue. We said, let's get the weapons around Carson,
Right.
And when we go ahead and we draft a quarterback, first of all, and Jalen Hurts was not even projected to be more than a third or at the highest round pick.
Right.
So when you trade up and you go and you draft him in the second round, you're looking and saying, what are you doing drafting this guy this high? So he was, and no, that was nothing to get. I'm telling you, if we took Jalen Hurts in like the fourth round, that draft, and he was just a nice add-in piece, he would have come into a much different situation.
Yeah, and that's why what I mean by the outside looking in is the fan base says, okay, we need this position, this position, this position, this is what we need to get better. And then you go get a quarterback, probably on the inside, knowing that Carson,
Not the guy.
we're having trouble with this guy.
Right.
But it's just not, the outsiders don't know that yet.
Right.
But on the inside, they know that, which is obviously why they did it.
Right.
So I think that was I think if everybody would have known what was going on inside, then I think Hurts would have gotten a better shake from the fan base. From the
So you think that people that Hurts caught more disdain, not because he was selected to possibly replace Carson. It was more because they didn't get DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson.
I think it was because he was brought in as we don't need this guy.
Right. When you draft a guy in the second round, like a quarter, you're looking at a guy you can step in and replace right away. Because he also was I think he was the top 10 pick in the second round, which is,
And go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. And that's it. You look at it and you're saying, we don't need this right now. And this is what we need. If we, and we looked at it at the time and the fans did it. We had our quarterback. If we get him the weapons around him that we need, and that was also coming off, if I believe, I have to go back and see what draft. Hurts was the 2019 draft or 2018 draft. I have to go back and check. But I think it was 2019. And
I just think that I just think he hasn't had a fair shake. I think he was coming in to replace. I mean, I think, like I said,
Carson was loved. Carson was absolutely loved and adored in Philadelphia, to no end. We looked at him as he was the quarterback for the next 10 years, and he was going to be our next Ron Jaworski.
Okay. So now,
who I think is an overrated quarterback. So sorry,
thank
Jaws.
you. Right. So now Jalen has done the same thing, pretty much, right? But people don't love him.
No, I think the people that don't love him now are the people with the agenda. I think the majority of people do love him now.
Yeah.
I think the majority.
That's
but
fair.
I think like anything else,
Yeah.
the minority, and you know this for his school board, the minority is always the loudest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I got you. I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like,
If you,
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
now you were saying, like, for example, like in my circle, like, who?
I don't know about you. I'm not saying for your shirt.
I'm just saying, we were talking. We were
just I want to make that clear.
Okay.
I need my job.
fair.
Yeah, not trying to be-
Right, I need my job.
Fair.
All right. So,
Fair.
Let me.
But we look
stop
at
you right away.
no, because I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with you guys.
Okay.
On if you don't like him, then there's another agenda.
I think
Now,
it's been okay. I think it's been an agenda the whole time. That's my opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion, because you have somebody that's replacing, somebody that is beloved for whatever reason he's beloved. I mean, he didn't win you anything. He didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? But he's beloved. And then now you have, this African American quarterback coming in, and now the arm strength's not there, or this not there, decision making. This and that, when there's already a narrative that says that, African Americans really couldn't play quarterback because they weren't smart enough, they didn't this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different, old age little perspectives that come into play there, you know what I'm saying? But yet Hurts has had to just do nothing but prove himself. Because that's his nature. He's been taught that from yay high. He's been taught that. In fact, I challenge it up. Most African Americans have been taught that from yay high, that you're going to have to always do more work to prove yourself. It's just the way it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. It is the way it is. And my thing is that, okay, now he's got off to an 8-0. Eagles ever been 8-0? Have they ever been 8-0?
No.
Never. So he's done something that Carson has not done. And Carson is still more beloved than him.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. No.
I'm trying to tell you.
No.
What Carson did is more celebrated than what Hurts is doing.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's because
That's a fair.
that year they led to a Super Bowl.
Like if it's yeah.
But okay. But
Like I mean,
he
in
wasn't the one
actuality,
that got it done though. So
in actuality,
you can't. He just gets gets attached to it. But he wasn't the one that got it done.
But Hurts hasn't won a Super Bowl yet either.
Okay, that's fair.
So like to say that, and I don't think Carson is more beloved than Hurts at all right now. I don't agree with that at all. I agree that there's still those people, and I don't I agree with that, but I don't think that narrative is still the Carson Jalen Hurts narrative. I don't think it's relative.
That's been put to bed.
I don't think it's relative. You may still have your Hurts doubters, but I don't think it's a Carson versus Hurts thing.
I think it's a residual.
That may be true.
I think
it may be like, okay, we can't fight this fight anymore, so now I'm going to fight this fight.
Which still the root of it was what? It was a Carson thing.
But I think if we're going to switch to that, I don't think that was ever the root of it.
Okay,
I think the root of it was what it was.
Yeah, right.
Fair.
Yeah. I just think that Hurts is doing what most. Just be honest. Most African Americans have to do. They have to prove themselves. That's what they have to do, man. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but we take it on. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair though. But we take it on. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And he'll continue to do his thing. And I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them to win the Super Bowl. Because even if he wins the Super Bowl, I bet you there's still going to be doubters. There'll still be this. There'll still be that. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The media, as they say. The media is something else.
Well, yeah, the media is something else.
Yeah.
I mean, the media is. I mean, it's good time as any to transition to the other topic, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, talking about the Kyrie Irving incident. Now looking at it, and it's interesting because you would say, like, to me, okay, so he made anti-Semitic statements, right? And you would think as a Jewish person, I would look at it and say, oh, I feel some kind of way. I didn't think that anything that he said was very offensive towards the Jewish community. I mean, like something where I look at it and say, I don't like you now, Kyrie, because you said X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. I think it was something that was taken out of context. And I think that because of Kyrie's history and the way that Kyrie has presented himself in general, they took it and they jumped on it as an opportunity to.
Go ahead. Say it.
What?
To do what? I'm just interested in and I think we're going to say the same thing. That's why I'm saying say it.
I'm not sure the word I want to use.
Okay, well then, all right. So let me.
I was going to say blackball him.
Yeah,
same
thing.
I'm not.
You'll say blackball. I'll say teach him a lesson.
Okay, teach him a lesson. Yeah,
and teach everybody else a lesson.
And
who may think of coming that way.
No, you're right. I mean, and I don't think this situation was handled appropriately at all. I think, like you said, he's being put out there as a spectacle for no reason. And it's interesting, too, because they even talked about the wording that every other player that issues have had happened. We talk about incidents with like Brett Favre, things like that, other athletes who did things horrendously worse. And then, their repercussions for it. But at no point has there been an undetermined length of time where you're holding him out and you're dangling him to say, once you conform back to what is the right way, you can come back and play with us. He's the only athlete that's been attached to right now in a long time. Every time an athlete,
I won't say in a long time, but I hear what you're saying though.
I'm saying there's been no, like, that's what I'm saying with this time frame of an undetermined length of time. Like when has an athlete been suspended for an undetermined length of time?
I think the bottom line is this. One of the things that I think that I always want to pride myself on, especially being a guidance counselor in a district where I work, is to help children understand who they are and where they come from. It doesn't matter the demographic, wherever they come from, because when you know where you come from, then you can, it gives you more of a foundation to help you understand where you're going and the things that you can do and the things that you're going to do and be purposed about. Unfortunately, for many African Americans, that history has been very skewed. We're still in search of. We're still, trying to find that, and in hopes of finding that, there's a lot of research, a lot of things that have to be studied and researched. For instance, I was taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Didn't discover America. Okay, but this is what we were taught. So we were taught so many different things, and especially in times now, right now, and I'm not going there in support of or support against. I'm just going there to bring up a point. Just like you have so many individuals screaming out, fighting against this CRT and all this different curriculum that is being introduced. They are fighting against because they are wanting to protect what is being taught to their children. Because they don't want their children or their children's minds to be, let's say, influenced a certain way. There's no difference than when an African American person is researching and trying to find out, well, where do I come from? And how come my people and my culture has been subjected to this? Is this the way it is? It's a different mindset growing up knowing that, okay, you know what? I'm a member in this society, but I'm less than in this society. It's a big difference. So when you're trying to figure that stuff out, you're going to research. I think Kyrie was just researching, trying to figure out who he is as a 30-year-old man. He's just trying to figure out who he is, and has there been things that have been lied to African Americans? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't really see, well, I do see it because there's that balance of things, but then there's also that you still have to work and survive and feed your family. So when you're working in corporate America, so to speak, you have a boss and you have to be amenable to your boss. It's the bottom line. That's why I developed the Chick-fil-A philosophy. My pleasure. Because at the end of the day, you don't care what I think or what I want, or you don't care about that. What you care about is I do what you tell me to do. And that's what I do. And it's unfortunate that Kyrie just wanted to be a free-thinking individual and wanted to share something. Maybe he shared it in hopes of other people maybe gaining some type of knowledge from it. Who knows? But to vilify him, it's almost like a public lynching, in my opinion. In my opinion. That's what it's like to me. And it's like, I'm going to spank you, and I'm going to make sure that not only I spank you, but I want your other counterparts behind you, or whoever's with you, to understand that if they do the same, they're going to get spanked too. And that's unfortunate. So most times I'm not with Kyrie. The world is flat. Nah. I'm a martyr. Nah. I'm with him on this one. And most times I'm not, but I think I am with him on this one. Just for the simple fact that he's trying to figure out who he is. What is so wrong with that? We read so many other books that are, I mean, there's libraries filled with. I remember I had to do a report on the KKK. I had to do all this research and read all these books of vile and hate, but I had to read it. I had to research it. I just don't understand it. I do understand. Listen, I can't even say what I really want to say. And that's how profound this systemic world is. I can't say what I want to say. You know why? Because I care about my kids inside the house. So I can't speak. That's what I'll say. I might have even spoken too much.
No, I don't think you did. I think
that's fair.
I think you worded, no. I mean, I think you worded it very well.
That's fair.
I think very well.
That's fair.
Very profoundly. Coach, what are your thoughts?
I'm not gonna get super deep on it. I'm just sick of Kyrie. Period. And I think what the NBA is putting him through right now, as I agree with Jay, it's not just for him. It's to kind of say, listen, this is we don't want this happening with other players. But I think it also is because it's Kyrie, and they're just sick of dealing with Kyrie. Right, wrong, or whatever. I'm not saying it's right what they're doing to him at all. But I think if this was if Steph Curry had done the same exact thing, it wouldn't be the same situation. Because it's Steph Curry and it's not Kyrie. And that's not right. Mm-hmm. But I think the NBA, the Nets, I think they're just sick of him. And that's not right. Because he's, you're the one who employs him. You're the one who decided to employ him. So but I'm just, I don't know. I'm just over Kyrie.
That's fair.
That's what it is for me.
And that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I think that, and a lot of things can, when I really sat and I thought about this, right? I was like, I had to, at first I was like, oh, here goes this Kyrie being Kyrie, right? But then I sat and I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm listening to Kyrie's argument, right? And he had one thing that was phenomenal. He said, well, yo, listen, I got the book from Amazon. That was early on. So I got the book from Amazon. So I'm like, oh, I got the movie, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Why they ain't coming at Amazon? Amazon's the one that's really publicizing it and promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Why not get it from them? You know what I'm saying? But nobody said nothing about Amazon. Now, I'm not sure Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, that's
Amazon. I'm not sure what his demographic is or whatever, his nationality and background is or whatever. It just seems like it's just unfair, man. It's just unfair. But other people will see a different way, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? It is. And that's what makes this a free society, so to speak, because everybody can share their own opinion to a certain extent. I just can't go too further because I still got a family to feed.
And for me with Kyrie, it's also it's almost like a the boy who cried wolf kind of thing, where he said so many things that are just outlandish that now
Right.
I haven't even. I'll be honest. I haven't even really like looked into this or.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's because I'm like you said, it's just another Kyrie thing, and then you went and dug deeper.
Right.
I haven't dug deeper just because I don't like.
Right.
If it was another player, I probably would.
Right.
But Kyrie, I'm just like, and I probably should, but like,
Right, because of what he's done. Again, the whole martyr thing, the whole this, you know what I'm saying? It becomes a little too much. But this particular example, I don't know. It's just uncomfortable, to be honest, which is very uncomfortable.
No, and I will, like I said, I watched, like, I remember I was home when it broke, and I was watching a lot, like the next day, the interviews and whatnot. And obviously, when I hear that, the anti-Semitic remarks, my ears turn up a little bit, and I'm like, well, what did he really say? And I'm watching the reporters just sitting here baiting him into saying what they want to hear him say. And I'm sitting there actually watching the interviews, and like you were saying, sometimes with Kyrie, I'm like, what do you, like, you're just waiting for him to say what you want him to say and put him out there. And all he kept saying again was trying to be educated. I mean, and saying the correct responses to these reporters and just baiting him into saying what that specific line, like, there it is. See, we knew his agenda all along, when you're right. He wasn't trying to push any agenda. He was trying to, I believe, like you said, in that underground, he was trying to educate. But
I think that he was just trying to find out where he comes from.
So let me ask you this. What do you think, what do you think about the response around the league to Kyrie's suspension? It wasn't a whole lot of response.
Again, like, and you have to understand. Do you? I mean, I
know I do, and I know I do, but I'm saying, like,
but then you will understand that. Like, listen, this is people are. I'm afraid to touch it too much.
I know.
I'm afraid. Like, I don't think you're afraid, though. And it's not disrespect. It's just being honest.
Well,
I don't think you're afraid to touch it.
We've talked about this before, and I know it. Like, the platform that I'm on is different. And it's not fair, but it's the way of our society.
I'm afraid to touch it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that, that why do I have to be afraid?
what? So why do you think a player like LeBron, who can really in the NBA do whatever he wants, won't speak up?
I know
well,
he wants
he can't do whatever he wants. See, that's where I disagree. He cannot do.
No, I'm talking about within the league. I'm not saying in the world. I'm saying within the league. Like, he can go out and he can criticize the NBA.
Yes,
without repercussions.
Well, and I think he did. He said he picked the perfect spot to say, yes, it's too much. To check the checklist of all these different demands that you got to meet is too much.
Yeah.
It's excessive.
He did.
And I think he did say that. But he won't touch on that. He won't touch on like what Kyrie did or whatever. He'll just automatically say, I'm not anti-Semitic. Because that's what people want to hear.
You're right.
But I don't even know if that was even at question.
Do you think that because of the player that did it, like you said, of Kyrie, and maybe the other players in the league also are tired of Kyrie? Like, for example, if Steph did this,
I think that has a lot to
right. Like, if Steph did this, do you think you would see more responses? And let's say,
and they might not come out and talk about the stuff like you're saying. They're not going to touch that.
Right.
I think they would be. It's like I hate to go back to this. It's like the whole Carson thing. When Carson started all his, like, when we figured out who he really was, not one single player came to his back.
That's correct.
And I feel like that's the same kind of thing with this. And I'm sure all these players are getting asked these questions. What do you think about the Kyrie situation?
Oh, yeah.
And we're not, maybe, I don't know if we're just not here. And I don't expect them to come out and talk about in depth about the thing, but I expect them to say, "Oh no, that's this penalty." Like, I don't understand why.
I think they are saying that. I think that a host of people have come out and said that it's too much. It's excessive. I know Stephen A. has said it was. He was being emasculated.
Yeah,
in front of everybody.
Stephen A. and I don't always love Stephen A.
Sure.
But his response to the situation was very good.
Yeah, he's being emasculated. Jaylen Brown has said something that's too much.
Yeah.
Cullum has said it's too much. Shaq and Barkley, they call him an idiot or whatever. And I'm like, listen, you listen. Make no mistake about it. When you're paying somebody money, their relationship and their loyalty is to that money that you're paying them.
Yeah.
That it is what it is.
And that's why Shaq and whatnot.
They got it. They have, because they still have to survive. They're not trying to mess up. I mean, and that's the thing where I make the joke, and I'll do like this. And I'll say this: everybody's dancing. Doesn't matter what position you're in. You could be whatever. You're always dancing. Because in this society, you're looked at as a certain way. And you're going to be dancing regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones who control the money who you have to dance to. The bottom line.
You're right.
And that is it. It's unfortunate though. It's sad. I hope that they let him play again.
I was just going to ask you.
I think he grows from this though. See, I think he grows from this. This is that moment maybe he's been waiting for. Now I can say that he's, the whole vaccine thing, the whole I don't feel like playing because of this and that, whatever. But this right here, I have to say like, yo, you know what? Okay. This is what's happening to you, Kyrie, is now wrong. Okay. Now this is wrong. And I can't say that you deserve it. It's just wrong. And what happens is like one of the things that bothered me was that, what's his name? Philip Knight, Nike owner? They cut him.
Yeah.
Say you don't deserve blah, blah. I'm like, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like, the sneaker company said no. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that, these people don't care. They care about making money off him. If they pay Kyrie $350 million for the Kyrie 8s or whatever, right, for that show, you better believe they're making about 500 to 600 million. Way more than that, right? So they're using him anyway. But it's like, no, you know what? Get in line, keep your mouth shut, just do what you gotta do.
So with Nike, I think it's kind of like the same thing I was saying. This was just the thing that like broke the back. This wasn't the end all be all, because they had already said we're not renewing. This is before this. We're not renewing his contract. The way he's been acting before this, we don't want it. We don't want to act like that. So now this happens. Now they're 100% out.
Right.
So this for Nike anyway, this wasn't just an isolated incident. They were already checked out on him.
But
which says a ton to me, because he was the second highest earner for them in their whole shoe line.
Right. Which it just at the end of the day, as much as I didn't like what Kyrie said about the earth flat and all this stuff, right? He is a man and he should be able to say what he wants to say. But he can't. But yet we had a president that was able to say whatever he wanted to say. And he was beloved.
He didn't have a boss.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's right.
No, but
that's fair.
That's true.
I guess that's fair. It's just messed up though. It's just messed up. I mean, but if anything, it puts me back in that realm of, it's just like no matter what we do, what I do, we'll never be the same. And that's just a sad reality. And what I mean by never be the same is we'll never be the same in the eyes of society. I can say certain things that I believe, but if I say it, then people will accuse me of being a certain way or this and that, you know what I mean? Like, from what America or what people want me to believe is that, all these things happened to all my generations and all my people was because of, Noah's son saw his father naked, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know how much y'all know about that, but I just can't swallow that. I just can't. because I'm a free thinker. First of all, I'm an educated thinker. So, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at anything that was back in slavery days, one of the things that didn't want is you didn't want to teach the Negro to read. Because if you taught them to read, then they can find out who they really are. That's fact. Not made up. Fact. So, you know what I'm saying? So, just unfortunate, man. That's all I can really touch on before I get myself in trouble. So
No. I mean, but the way you worded it, though, and I mean, the way you worded prior was very good. And I think it really drove home a point.
Yeah, I just don't, it's just it's just a sad situation, to be honest with you. It's very sad. And it's bigger than Kyrie. This is bigger than Kyrie.
No, it is. It is.
Bigger
And it goes back to it. I don't want to say, well, let's move on, because that's,
that wouldn't be insensitive of you.
I was going to say, let's move on.
I don't want you to think that, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? Like, here's the thing. I'll give you an example. This is a great comparison. I haven't seen anybody compare this yet.
Okay.
Kyrie makes statements, vilified, condemned, all over. Somewhere on the other side, I don't even know who's on the other side, but somewhere, I forget where it was. You have this young white hockey player that was bullying an African-American boy. I forget it was in Ohio, I think it was. I mean, they was like bullying. I mean, just call him all kind of N-words, you know what I'm saying? And he was autistic, bullying him so much that they took his, the push pops used to eat.
Yeah.
They took it and wiped it around a public urinal and then gave it to him to eat. He was a pretty good hockey player. He was drafted by, I forget the team, but one of the NHL teams. Then on top of that, he was selected to play at one of the elite universities. They all made like exceptions for him. And he was there until there was public outcry. And outcry. And
this is recent, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember reading about that.
And then they and he never apologized for what he did. But they finally, came out and, distanced themselves from them, released him and stuff like that. But they still willing to give him an opportunity. Oh, he just made a mistake. The world is very forgiving for some and not for others.
Oh, it is.
The world has grace for some and not for others. Look at what we're dealing with the Commanders, right? This DC DA comes out, says something. Some people think it's grandstanding. I don't know. I can't speak to that or whatever. But the fact remains is that there was a culture within that organization that was built on racism.
Oh, absolutely.
But that was okay for many years. For many years. It's just a sad situation, It's just sad, but the hockey player situation really resonated with me. So I'm like, damn, like wow, how could he still be given a chance? Where if an African American does one thing, and what we teach young African American males is that you don't get many chances. You get one chance. One chance. You mess that up, it's a wrap. Now, is that necessarily true? Who's to say? Because I'm not God, right? But if I look at the data tells me you make one mistake, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
That's what I was taught. That's what I tell my son. That's what I tell my kids. You know what I'm saying? You make one mistake, you got one chance to get it right. You can't make one mistake. But here's a kid, young kid in hockey, playing this and that. He can make, doesn't matter. Still give him an opportunity. You can't tell me that racism is not alive and well. I think it's alive and well. I think it'll always be well. I think it'll always be here. It'll be something that we're always battling and always trying to fight against.
I agree.
That's unfortunate. It's
I agree.
unfortunate. And I think the more, and I think that, you know, a lot of it's become more magnified because we have different groups now that's screaming out against hate as well. And we've all joined that fight. And I'd say, you know, keep up that fight. That's all I have to say.
No, you're right. You're right. I think you know it'll just morph into different ways that we're seeing it. That's all. Anything else?
Mike Woj, Mike Woj said some things. Said it's completely unfair the way it is. It's 100% live and well. You think as humans we could get past that type of mindset, but the world is the way the world is. You're right about that. It's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate.
Shout out Woj. Appreciate you watching. Yeah. That's not the Woj, but it's a good Woj.
It's all right. Whatever.
I was gonna say
it's just unfair. It's sad. It's very upsetting. Well, it's very disappointing. Let me just say that. Very disappointing.
It is. It is. Anything else on this, Coach? And you know,
no, I mean, I got nothing that's gonna make that any better.
No, I mean Jay really hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Well, like I said, he stole my name. Well, speaking of basketball, though, we do have a team in the area. Mm-hmm. You know, what's your thoughts on the Sixers early on?
How's your coach doing?
Let me tell you straight up. Last night I was like, yo, Doc may have to go, or he may have to grow from some of these decision makings that he's on with his substitution patterns in his roster. Because I promise you, I was watching, I'm like, damn, they almost up by 30, and then come back. They're like, wait a minute, they only up by 6. And wait a minute, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure what it is, but they got to break out that pattern, because that's a poor pattern that's being.
That's the pattern since he's been here.
I was going to say that. I mean, just say, at what point are we saying this is what he is? I mean, you know, they have a very tough stretch coming up. These next 5 games, I believe, starting with the Jazz tonight. I mean, the Hawks were a tough game too, so that was a good. But they have the Jazz tonight. Yeah, been way back. You know, and then like I said, their next 5 games are very tough. But at what point do you realize and do you say this is what Doc is? We keep saying, oh, he's got to adjust. He's got to adjust. He's got to adjust. He's not going to adjust. This is what Doc Rivers is as a coach.
It's actually a great point that Mike Woj brought up. He said it's equivalent to the prevent defense in football, and it might be. You know, I think in a certain retrospect, he does play like, let me just try to get this. Let me just kind of protect the lead instead of just going after it a little bit.
Do you ever see the Sixers come out and run something and get a wide open shot from it?
Sometimes, not often.
Or is it because the players make a great play and that's what happens? Like usually it's somebody making a play and then this guy ends up with a shot. It's never like, you know, there's never a strategy. It's just, I shouldn't say never, but like it just always seems like they're just out there just playing, and all these other teams are running stuff. This guy's getting a wide open shot. This guy's getting shots, and I just don't see. And I think that's like when a team's on a run. Those are the types of things you do to stop runs. Right. Let's run this to get Embiid this shot right here, and we know it's going to work. Now, if he makes it or not, whatever. But like we don't just give it to Joel. I
mean, you see some play action, some, you know what I'm saying, some picks and screens here. I thought I saw that a little bit with isolating Joe at the elbow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
But that's isolation. That's what we're going to do.
Well, yeah, I just think that there's something there in that mindset that's not, it doesn't have them necessarily, they don't play well with the lead. I don't know what it is. You know, and Maxey needs to stop looking for the ball all the time. I'll tell you that. Not all the time, but the call. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
He's crying for the call too much. Yeah, just make the shot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just look at this Sixers team, and I mean, obviously you made these, and they talk about it earlier. They've done, and I'm going to just this. If you're Joel Embiid, like this was a point they brought up on radio yesterday. And, in this past offseason, they did everything they could do, a lot to make James Harden happy. Because people talking about Joel, has been, obviously last night was a breakout game, but but this season so far has been, I don't say a slow start, but it doesn't seem like he's been all in. Do you think that he's feeling some kind of way of, okay, we went out, we made James Harden happy by getting some guys to fit in his role. And what have they done for Joel to go, excel his game to the next level or build around him? Now you're building around James instead of building around Joel.
I disagree with that because I think they brought James in to build around Joel, to help Joel. Okay, the problem I think with the Sixers is they have similar to the same problem the Lakers have. They don't have good shooting.
Yeah,
no,
they don't have good shooting, and that's the problem. Like when they lost Curry, that was a big blow. You see what Curry is doing now? He's playing with those Nets, right? You see what he's able to do. Shooting is what's going to get it done. And, going to the game last Friday with the Knicks and seeing D'Anthony Melton shoot the air ball. It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Maxi's, sometimes he got his touch and sometimes it's like a hard brick. Furkan is Furkan. So who do you have? Who's the other guy? Daniel House Jr.? He's just, I haven't seen them. You have no shooters. Tobias has been playing well.
Yeah.
He's been playing well. But I don't want to hear that. I'm an all-star. I don't want to hear that.
He took 1 3 early in the game last night. And I thought he might have been watching my clips from shooting threes. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't see this team taking that next step as constructed and with Doc at the helm. And I don't know if it is because Doc is not able to get the most out of this roster, or is it because of what you said, that this roster is not built the way you need to run this team the way it is?
I think they need a young, innovative coach. Forget young. They need an innovative coach who's going to come in and put them in the positions they need to be in. Instead of, see, Doc's old school. Like, Doc's like, all right, pick and roll, let's go. Just run just be good. Like, that's that old school mentality.
Run through the big man.
But now it's like these guys, like you have these young coaches who are running stuff. Like, guys are wide. Like, how is Jason Tatum ever wide open? But somehow he's open. He's catching the ball with nobody near him because of how he got the ball.
But not just how he got the ball. I agree with that. But also the personnel that's on the floor.
Oh, that's
so you can't you can't cheat off anybody. You can't. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the roster is devoid of shooting. It's the bottom line. Like,
Go ahead.
We are devoid of shooting, good shooting. We need a shooter.
So went out and got like a Daniel House Jr. supposed to be a shooter.
These guys are supposed to be able to make shots.
That's what he was brought in for. He was a 40% 3-point shooter from what I believe.
I don't know him as a shooter. Do you know him to be a shooter?
He's supposed to be a 3.
I was going to say,
they're supposed not a Curry shoot, not a Seth Curry shooter
or Max Strus.
No, not like that. Just a guy who, if he's in the corner, that's what we have. We have guys who, if they're wide open in the corner, they'll make shots. We don't have guys that we can run this guy off the screen to catch and shoot. We don't have that.
Seth Curry was that guy, like you said.
Seth Curry was that guy.
Seth Curry was that guy.
Seth Curry still wouldn't be playing. Seth Curry wouldn't be playing. I don't know what else to say. Seth Curry would not be playing here. You're not taking Maxey off the floor. No. You're not taking Harden off the floor.
Well,
you can't play them 3 together.
And maybe we're seeing that because there is no Harden right now. So that, maybe you have to have a little grace too, because Harden's not here.
But even when he was healthy, I didn't.
But then Joel wasn't in shape.
That's fair,
right? So
that's really where the true test is going to be. Is once this healthy roster plays 20 games together, where are they at? We're not. So that what's going to happen is we're not going to get to that point because Harden's out for another 6 weeks or so.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
I thought they said 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
I thought it was a month.
Okay, so he's out another 2 weeks. Call it.
Okay,
right. So then by then, hopefully Joel's healthy. Hopefully, He's still healthy. So, like, when are we going to actually see? But then Harden's not going to be in shape, so we have to wait for that.
Right. And, he's going to
then,
take a night off.
Come on, like,
When they talked about back in it, I think I don't know if one of my first shows we talked about that, or early on. You know what I'm saying? Early on, we talked about who we rather have, Ben or Joel. And we had to trade one. I said Ben.
I don't know what I said, but I think I would have said Ben.
Right. I think you said Joel or whatever.
I said to keep. You were going to keep
keep,
it?
yeah, I said Ben.
I think I would have said Ben. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I'm starting to think that I don't know if we can get it done with Joel. I think that even though Joel's tough or whatever, he's just too. I don't know what to call it. Is it flimsy?
He's too fragile.
He's always
Even last night.
falling.
So-
It looks like every move he makes is the knee's going to buckle.
Yes.
So I read something that the doctors told him to fall instead of landing.
Why? Because it's too much
It's
weight
too much
coming
weight
out.
coming out. So they said whenever you're coming down, if you're unbalanced, fall. They said you have less chance of injury that way.
Okay, so then maybe.
Well, I
that's
mean,
what I see.
it still doesn't
Maybe
like.
that's what I see.
It doesn't make sense, but it kind of does.
But it makes it like he falls way more than anybody should ever fall.
But early in the game last night, he had a fall that I was looking at. I was like,
Yeah, it's just all the time. It's just I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't think the Sixers ever get it done. I don't.
when Atlanta went on that run. I mean, it was a run, and it's like I'm trying to understand where Doc's coming from. Okay, you're not going to call a timeout. It's only like a minute something left in the third, so you're not going to burn a timeout there. They're going to have to play through that. All right, but they didn't. Well, I think they finally ran something on a pick and roll from Maxey and Embiid, and Embiid was an and one or something like that. But it just, to see the way the Hawks, they were just, the transition defense was terrible. Tobias throws a pass in the corner, nobody's there. And then he's pouting. You know what I'm saying? And that's the second time I've seen Tobias to make some mistakes. He made a mistake in the Knicks game when Maxey threw the ball. They got Tobias posting up. Tobias is not a post up player, but he can do some work down there. And the ball went out of bounds. It's just too many different little mistakes that you just don't understand. Don't understand. And Shake, I can't stand. I still can't stand him. Still can't stand him.
He's got to have some video on somebody.
I just can't stand him.
Well, you see, early in the season he wasn't playing,
Right.
but now none of these guys off the bench can score, and that's one thing he'll come in and
Because he's not passing.
he's not passing, so he's going to try to score. So that's
Right.
what they needed off the bench. That's why he's playing now.
Right. I was happy for Thibault. He hit that three because that three was the game clincher, so to speak. But even Matisse' defense doesn't look like it used to be. I don't know. He's a shooter.
I just look at this
He's a
team.
specialist.
I look at this team. I look at like last night. Like if you ask me, obviously we didn't have Harden, the game changer. But if you say to me who's going to win a series right now between the Hawks and the Sixers this year, the way that the Hawks are set up, I have to pick the Hawks.
No, I'd still pick the Sixers because they have no answer for him.
They have no, and that's
no
the thing.
answer.
Like that's what's tough about Embiid is there's so many teams that don't have it. Embiid,
No answer, right?
But also in points you're like, I wish he wasn't out here. We could play faster.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
when they try to play fast, they succeed a lot of the time. But now it's like Embiid's not even involved.
Not even involved.
I mean, I'd say with the Hawks, you get a guy like John Collins who can still run the floor. And he's like
He
their
fell off though. I think a
I
little
hate
bit.
John Collins.
Yeah.
I like him here, but
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that.
Yeah.
But he's able to run the floor
Yeah.
with the team. Like he's a big man that
Yeah.
can run the floor.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
they brought 30 pounds in, and I don't know. It's just
PJ.
no. You don't know who 30 pounds is, huh?
Oh,
Montrez.
Oh, Montrez.
30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he brought him in. He's been garbage.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't even think I've seen him on the floor.
He's losing out to B-Ball Paul.
You know who's playing well in San Antonio? Charles Bassey.
That's what I heard.
He had a
did hear
huge
that.
night the other night.
I did hear that. He's playing well. Yeah. See, I don't know. How come all these Sixers got like Jeremy Grant? Jeremy Grant's a thing now.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't do anything with Jeremy.
But he's a thing now, though, man.
No, he's
you know
tough.
what I mean? He's tough, man. So,
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood, right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think now the team, I think you're right. I think the team is starting to be built for Harden and his Dribble.
I just can't get excited about the Sixers team.
I think with their full that Christmas game is going to show me. The Christmas game should be at full. We have Embiid. You have James will be back. Maxey. I think Maxey is going to benefit from James being back. So you have more driving lanes.
I just still look at the overall picture in the East, though.
Boston's tough. Boston's tough as hell.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We might need to have some of our some opinions out there from some of the fans out there. Matter of fact, we call it the Front Runner New Jersey survey of the week or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gotta try to get that what is the best lineup for these Sixers, or what is, we
can get that out there.
I don't know. We got to do something. No,
we can get that out there.
We got to do something.
The Front Runner New Jersey fan poll of the week.
I like that. That. Shout out to Front Runner New Jersey. Definitely where you can read the most up to date information on what's going on with the African Americans and the minority community and all communities in South Jersey, and beyond. So please subscribe and like frontrunnerNewJersey.com.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I think we're gonna be having a lot of Sixers talk, and as it goes on, obviously we'll have the Eagles talk. It did feel good to be back on the show. Feel good to be back behind the mic.
Yes.
And I know that this is usually our time of the year that we start ramping up, bringing our guests back on. So we're going to be having that coming up.
High school basketball is back in effect. We got that going on. Football's concluding. I don't even know who won that Salem-Paulsboro game.
That was Salem. Salem
won?
Yep, Salem won.
Wow. Okay. All right. So shout out my boy, Coach Sam Ridgway, his man, Coach Montre Wright, and that staff there. I'm still a Red Devil though. So
I know. And he does a shout out, and I know a guest to be Kevin Emmons. He does an awesome job at South Jersey Sports Zone.
Wow.
The coverage that they have of all the football, basketball, they do a phenomenal job. And, I'm looking forward, to have Kevin on the show, upcoming. But they do a phenomenal job too.
Absolutely. I'm upset about these Sixers, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, though.
Because they win last night, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they took the steam out of the excitement the steam out of the excitement for them. They took it out very quickly.
Yeah. If they had won last night by like 20-30, then I'm like,
yeah, you're back in. Like Randy said, they got a big week. If they
who they play? They play Utah tonight.
Bucks on Friday, Timberwolves Saturday, and then the return of Mr. Simmons on Tuesday.
Oh, wait. Oh, in Philly? Oh, I got to get some tickets for that one.
He won't play. Don't get out of here. He won't play.
Yes, he will play.
No, he won't. He's going to have some. He's going to put a sweater on and hurt his back or something.
He's been hurt. He hasn't been playing, I don't think.
He didn't play last night?
Oh, he did play last night. I think last night was his first game back.
How did he do? What was the stat line?
He had 14 minutes, 1 for 2, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 fouls, 2 points.
Yeah.
Listen, if you just bank every night on how many more he's going to have more fouls than points, I think you're going to hit that bet.
I think he's trying to foul on purpose. I think he's trying to get in foul trouble.
Yeah, because
he never did that here.
He always
never in foul.
Yeah, that's true.
Ben used to have he used to hit a little elbow jumper.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. What happened to him, Ben? What happened to him?
I have no idea.
That is sad. I have to look into that game though, because I think I want to go to that game. That's the Tuesday before the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, right?
And then it's the Friday before Thanksgiving and the Saturday before Christmas.
That's right.
It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
That's right. Okay. I got to look into that game. That's going to be a pretty good game.
It is.
The fact they lost to the Knicks though was upsetting, but that's all right. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? They had that game too. You know what I'm saying? But you have Toppin and Brunson came on late. I don't know. I think they beat Utah tonight. You know what I mean? Who's Utah on there? It's Clarkson and them.
Yeah, they're 10-4.
Yeah, they'll beat them. I think they'll beat them.
I don't know, man. They've been playing really well. Really well.
I know, but they'll beat them. They lost to Washington, right? So they'll come up here and get lost too. They lost to Washington without Beal.
Okay.
You know, you had Kristaps. Yeah.
Hey, shout out Temple basketball. Big victory.
Who they beat?
Over Nova.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, without Jay Wright, though.
Well, yeah, it's not the same.
No,
It's not the same.
not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. I'm college basketball up and running. I know you love college basketball, Coach.
Absolutely.
I mean,
There's
I just,
nothing there now.
Yeah.
I just been watching all different random games.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much fun.
Yeah. What do we think about LeBron, though? You think we're done with LeBron or what?
As far as what?
As far as like, you know, it's his. You think he'll ever win another ring?
No.
No.
Unless he goes somewhere that's going to win anyway.
It's a wrap.
No,
He's definitely not winning. I mean, that Lakers team is.
they're trash.
Yeah.
And I don't even blame. Like, you can't. I don't. You just have to blame the front office for that. Like,
Yeah.
you can look at them and tell they're not going to be good.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you would think they're good.
So if you're LeBron, what do you do?
Wait for Bronny to get there. That's it.
Yeah, just to have that experience.
Win the scoring. Take over the scoring title. And play with your son. That's it.
Yeah. Now he's what? How many years away? 2 years away?
So he's going to be a senior in high school this year. He's a senior in high school. So he's got one more. He's got to go to college for at least a year.
Stupid.
But for him, he's not a one and done kid.
He's not.
He's gonna be.
He's going to be, but he's
Just
going to get
because-
drafted way.
But I don't think that's the right thing for his development.
Yeah.
Do you think Bronny has what it takes if he were to stay and develop?
Yes, I think he's very underrated because he's LeBron's son. So people trash him because he's
So if he
not
was just
the number one
Jason
player in the
Smith,
country.
this player, he'd be like, oh, he's a.
I think he would be. I think he's really good. I think he's got more of a NBA college.
Was he a guard too, right?
Yeah, but he's polished. He's not flashy. He's not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's starting to get super bouncy, but like he shoots the ball really well. He's more of like just a point guard who plays the right way. Like, so he's not super flashy. And the other thing that he's always done, he's always played with other kids that were top 5, top 6 in the country. So he was never the best player on the team, which hurts him for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be, like I said, if you're LeBron, though, right now, you're just like,
Yeah.
you know, you're just going through the motions. And you got Russ out there doing whatever Russ wants.
Russ has been playing well lately, though.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have shooting.
Right.
It's bottom line. They don't have shooting. When you need shooting in this game.
You do, and that. Listen, that's our problem.
One thing I do want to touch on is before we go, and Coach, I think you'll have some commentary for this because this is near and dear to your heart. This player. How do we feel about what Barkley and them said about Clay? The media, I mean, it almost sounds like, you know, you can't get no criticism to no player nowadays. But how do you feel about what he had to say about Clay? I was curious about that.
I think Clay's response was right on. Like, you know, Barkley said he's not the same player. He's not. I don't know if it's fair to say he's falling off because I don't think we know that yet. I think you got to give him this season to see where he's at.
Sure.
But I think Clay's response was spot on with, of course I'm not the same player. Like, you know, I just had 2 surgeries. I've been out for 2 years. Of course I'm not that same guy. Give me a chance to get back. He's only played less than half a season back in the league. And if you look at those playoffs, he played pretty well in the playoffs. I'm not disagreeing with what they're saying. I don't think he'll ever be the same player he was. He's never going to be that lockdown defender. He's not going to be that guy.
It sounds like that's what Barkley said. That's what he said was that.
Well, I think Barkley said it like he's done, like it's over with. Like they got to almost move on from him. They got to find somebody else to replace that, which I don't agree with at all.
No, I see. I actually read what he said, and what he said was that he said Father Time is catching up with Draymond and Clay. He said, you know, they're still vital, but it's those young boys like Poole and whatever the, you know, Kuminga and all those that Wiggins. Those are the ones that's going to now kind of make that difference with that Warriors team. I don't
agree with that.
Well, I think
meaning I don't want it with I don't think it's father time with either of them. I think
The father time, no.
I don't think Draymond's. I just don't think Draymond's good. I don't think Draymond. I don't think if you take Draymond to any other team, he's not.
He's average, right? But what I'm saying, I think what he was trying to say, he could have probably articulated it better. But I think what he was saying was that those young kids make a difference for the Warriors because now you still have that core veterans, okay? But then when you mix those young kids in, they don't expose some of that veteran flaws that come with age and father time. I think when you have a mixture of that, it's like with Chris Paul. Chris Paul would not be. I mean, he'll still be great, but on that Phoenix team, he is like
Dynamite.
Masterful.
Yeah,
because he's got that mix. He's the old head, but now I got these young guns. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't think I think the Warriors only go as far as Steph takes them.
Right.
And I think if Steph has an off night, it's going to be on Klay, in my opinion, to pick that up. Pool's like a bomb you just throw and hope it hits something. Right. He might go for 30 or he might shoot you out of the game. So you're hoping for that positive stuff from him.
I don't think people fear Klay the way they used to. And maybe that's fair because he's had those injuries.
Agreed.
So I think if Steph goes, then you better have like Wiggins or them. You know what I'm saying?
So if you're putting Wiggins in the young guy pool, I think Wiggins is his own thing. Wiggins, Looney, they're just the steady veterans that aren't young. When I say young, I'm thinking of Kuminga, Moody, Poole, Wiseman.
Right.
That's what I say. I think you have the Steph, Klay, Draymond. Then you have the Wiggins, Looney, and then you have the young guys. So I think
it's like a perfect mixture. Though.
They're just so low.
And I think that that mixture, it kind of helps the Warriors kind of shore up some of the inefficiencies that Klay now has.
That could be. I don't think they have the right young guys to do that. Like, I don't think they're going to win this year. I don't think those young guys are what they need.
Okay.
But like that's in what you would try to build is that. Yeah. So now, and really what I think they're trying to do is just get to the playoffs.
Right. How old is Klay now? 34, 35?
No, I don't think he's that old.
Like 32.
They're just so loaded. Like when you were going, just rattling off their players.
They're tough.
And then you said Wiseman, and I'm like, God, man, they got James Wiseman too. Like they're just so loaded.
They're tough.
And even I think they have set themselves up so well.
They're tough.
They're
32.
Tough. 32. Okay, so but then you can add those injuries. I mean, I listen. Does he still going to be a phenomenal player? Yes, I do. I totally agree. Is he back to where he should be right now? No, he's not. I think it's going to take some time, but I think that he still will be a phenomenal player. But has there been a dip?
For sure, of course.
And I think that's what Barkley said. So then that makes me want to say, now, can you criticize players nowadays? Because before you could say whatever you want to say.
I think he just said it wrong. I just don't think he said.
He probably didn't say it in the right fashion.
I don't think he made it sound like. I don't think Klay's where if Klay doesn't get hurt, are we having this conversation?
No,
I don't think so.
Not at all.
So I think if he would have just clarified that he's in this situation because of his injuries,
right,
I think it goes away.
Right, maybe so.
But when he just says you've fallen off. Because that's what Klay,
he said that Father Time is getting them.
So, which I don't think is true with Klay. I don't think that's what got him.
No, if Barkley does present it as, these injuries have taken a toll on his body, he's got to get back to where he was. I don't think anyone.
So I think that's why Klay took offense to that.
Yeah.
And that's what he went off. All he went off on was, you don't know how hard I've worked. Right. You have no idea. To talk about Father Time, it has nothing to do with Father Time.
Right.
It's about my injury.
I'm trying to get back.
So and he said, of course I'm not where I was. Right. He wasn't saying I think he's wrong. He was saying, of course that's true.
Right. But if we really break it down, does Father Time influence the way that you recover from injuries?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Of course.
And that's the thing. It's like, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know Danny Green was What team's he on?
Memphis.
Right, I didn't even know he. Yeah, I'm like, my gosh. Oh, they're gonna be phenomenal when he comes back.
I don't think he's gonna play.
I think he is, and I think he makes a difference.
They're loaded too.
No, but not with that 3-pointers though. Oh my God, you got Ja creating all kind of traffic and whatever like that.
Ja's unbelievable.
Then who's the other guard? Brooks.
Hey, Brooks.
Yeah, but he's tough.
Desmond Bain.
Him. I mean, and Steven Adams is like the perfect center.
For
The
them.
perfect center for them.
And Jaren Jackson's not even playing.
And he's not even playing. Yeah, they're going to be tough. I like Memphis. I like New Orleans.
They're gonna be good.
I like New Orleans.
You know, they're in line to get the Lakers pick.
Which is insane.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's his name? The guy that's supposed to come out.
Wembanyama.
I couldn't even pronounce it. Yeah.
Something.
Wow.
Wembanyama.
I like the way Zion's playing, but dare I say, I like the way Ingram's playing.
Ingram's tough.
Ingram is tough.
Ingram's tough.
Ingram's tough, man.
They talk about I saw a thing talking about that trade, the Anthony Davis trade, and how it's like, who would you rather have right now, Brandon Ingram or Anthony Davis?
Brandon Ingram
all day.
Yeah, he's tough, man. He's tough. I like their team. And I'm rooting for the Timberwolves as well too. You know what? Because I like Edwards. I think Edwards is a stud.
What do you have against the T-Wolves?
The Twin Towers won't work.
I don't like Cat. I don't like Gobert. I'm really not a D'Angelo Russell fan. I like Edwards. I don't like. I don't know if you saw the other day where like they didn't run a play for him, so he just stood there.
Oh, cool. Edwards.
Yeah.
Well, he's still immature.
Yeah, like
young.
that. That's
It's
what
a
I
young-
don't like.
it's a young-
And I don't like. What was the movie? With Bo Cruz.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. With the
movie
Hustler.
Hustle.
Hustle.
He was the bad guy at Hustle. He was the.
Okay,
so-
I got you. I got you.
That's right. He was the
got you.
bad guy.
Kermit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kermit. They just call him Kermit.
I don't like. Oh, you guys are. I know a friend of mine at work, Fitz. He loves Zach LaVine. Are you a Zach LaVine fan?
I like Zach LaVine.
I
I
always
think
did.
you were too.
I don't
You
think
guys
I
are
don't think
too.
he's great or anything, but I like Zach LaVine. I think he
always liked
fits
him.
here better than Harden.
Yeah, well, I think because he's a go-getter. He's a scorer.
Well, and he can shoot.
Yeah.
Just shoot, not have to dribble 700 times.
Well, you're happy that we have Harden, though, right?
I mean, if you're gonna say you can have Harden or Simmons, like yeah,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good answer. That was good. Yeah. I didn't want Harden. You know that.
I know.
Yeah. I wish we had CJ.
Yeah, I do too. But like I always say, that was never an
It
option.
was an option.
No, and this was the option. And
If the Lakers pull that trigger, Miles, what do you think about Miles Turner saying that? Pull that
That's
trigger.
crazy.
That would be a great deal for them.
That'd be a great team. Yeah, absolutely.
Who would the Lakers give up?
Us
That'd be a great deal.
and 2 picks, 27 and 29.
Whatever. That'd be a great deal.
No, I agree.
Because you get Miles Turner, but you also get that Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Now you have shooting.
That makes them a lot better.
And shout out to my boy Jones, man. I remember we had this bet back in the day. It was Buddy Hield or Malachi Richardson. And I went with Malachi
Lost that
Richardson.
one big time.
I think I might have seen.
Big time.
I always
But that
liked-
was when Malachi was doing his thing at Syracuse.
Yeah, that was you were Allegiance.
He's not even in the league right now, is he?
I always liked Buddy though. I always liked Buddy Hield. I won Buddy Hield. Always did.
But I like him now, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad thing. All right, well, I got one last question. And this is, matter of fact, we're going to make this our front runner New Jersey question of the week.
All right. Let's hear it.
Everybody does questions of the week. Okay. And shout out to my boy Triple A. He's down there doing that Firecast.
Everybody got nicknames.
Yeah, Triple A, man. My boy Triple A. He's
I feel like I'm watching WrestleMania.
Nah, he's out there doing that Firecast down there in Penns Grove, man. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's always got me on his question of the week, man. And they laugh at me, too, because they said we had one question of the week. I'm not sure if I discussed this with y'all, but we had one question of the week when they was like, yo, listen, if you had your dream prom date, who would you take? Right? So I'm gonna ask you real quick. But that was AAA and Firecast. That was the Penns Grove Firecast, AAA and his team, Mr. Marone, all of them. They and Jafon and all of them. They had that question. That's their question. But I'm gonna steal
What's
that
Jafon's
question.
nickname?
Jafon is Lucas.
Okay.
Oh, well, Jafon, no, he's Lucas in Penns Grove, but that's my son. That's my nickname for him. My son.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's like Luke Skywalker. I mean,
Okay.
That's my
All right.
son.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But the question, I'll tell you who I picked to be my prom date. But I want to see, who would y'all pick?
I would pick,
And be mindful and respectful. I know everybody here got ladies.
I would pick my wife.
There it is. That's
I'm
a
gonna
great
pick
question.
my fiance.
That's a great question, right? So I picked a celebrity though.
Okay.
Okay. Had to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
So now I'll pick. And of course, it's not a disrespect to any
Like, this is now or when I was in high school?
No, now. Celebrity. It has to be celebrity only.
Celebrity
Right.
only?
See, I struggle with you because I don't even be on it like that.
Yeah.
You know,
what
who
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even be on it like that.
You know who I'm gonna go with? Celebrity, and go Jennifer Scordo from 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, Bria Dale watches this show.
Yeah, I know.
Right, okay. I just want
I was gonna say.
Yeah, because that's like.
Yeah, I'm not sure
that's
who
like,
that is.
Well, that's kind of like realistic. Like that, you gotta like.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Like she lives down the street.
But see, I don't need to shoot out of the stars because I already have the stars.
Like,
I like it.
good cover
I
up.
like it.
I mean, that's.
See, you were like me. You were like me. I couldn't think because I don't be on it like that.
I don't really know
You
what
had people say J-Lo. You had people say
No.
this one, that one, this one. You know what I said? I said Kamala Harris.
It's a good one.
Everybody was like, yo, he's laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? They call me Mr. Harris. You know what I mean? But then I came back, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, listen. Now, you know, if I stepped up in the prom with Kamala Harris, everybody would be on me. Yo, how he get the vice president? I might have got J-Lo, but he got the vice
That's true.
president. Come on.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be a different situation. Now, if I said hold a cot beat, then everybody would be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You wildin', you know what I'm saying?
Oprah.
But Oprah, something like that. But I do want to ask you about, this is our front runner question of the week.
All
Okay?
right.
What are you looking forward to most? What food item? Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So you look-
Stuffing.
I think we said that. I think you said this
Well,
before.
you know.
That's my thing.
Stuffing. Is it with gravy or is it stovetop or is it like a different?
It depends on where I am.
Okay, that's fair.
But stuffing, I'm good stuffing either way, and I do like to have gravy.
You got gravy on it. Okay. Eat it. Could you eat it solo? Or?
I can eat it solo. yeah.
Okay. All right. I can too. All right.
Chicken salad with cranberries. No, I'm just messing with
Yes, this is. Well, I mean, no. Culturally, I know. Cause
No.
listen, culturally,
you. You know what? I'll be honest with you. We don't do a good Thanksgiving spread.
Didn't you say you went out to eat something?
Last year we
year.
went out to eat, which was just crazy. This year I got to work on Thanksgiving.
Oh wow,
But
wow.
I say my favorite thing is.
Can I guess it? I know it's rude, right?
Go ahead.
Let me guess it, because culturally we're different.
Say it.
Okay, it's not gonna be mac and cheese. It's not gonna be, the rice.
You say what I think you're
It's I'm saying that it's either gonna be
You say the.
green bean almondine or broccoli casserole. Which one?
I hate you because
Come on!
you know I do like some green bean casserole.
That's what I was going to say.
I do like
It's
green
going,
bean
it's
casserole.
going to be green bean.
I would no, but my favorite thing is I do love ham.
Mashed.
I love ham.
Okay,
I love
All right.
ham.
Okay, spiral ham though.
Yeah, good ham, a good honey ham, coated. Yes.
Coated. It's already cooked.
Oh, but I coat it with the brown sugar and honey.
do you really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, but you get spiral ham. The spiral ham is cooked already
Already cooked, yeah.
with honey. But it's all right. I don't.
I mean,
want to
it's you know. But it's funny. The other day I went to go pick up this. It was they were giving, at my job. They were giving out turkeys to all the employees as a thank you.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
You know, and I thought they were giving out like a. This was like a 12-pound.
Oh, that's
turkey.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. You gonna cook it?
Well, I give it to my brother. He's trying to get
Yeah,
it.
oh, that's what's up, man.
But
That's
but
what's
I
up.
was like, wow.
Right.
But no, I do love
ham.
mac and cheese though. And
You do like mac and cheese?
I love mac and cheese.
Okay. All
It's
right.
not like Kraft though. It's got to be good baked mac and cheese. My grandmother,
Okay.
rest in peace, made some great mac. and
Okay,
cheese.
all right, and shout out Zaria. Shout out. I don't know if y'all met my intern Zaria Robinson. She works here actually at CMO, but we have like this little Friendsgiving for the Four Walls staff, and we were at a little point in contention of who's going to make the mac and cheese. Like who's making mac and cheese is almost like who's making potato salad, right? Who's making this?
Who's making the green bean casserole?
We're not having
Nobody's
that
ever-
item.
nobody's
right?
ever asked that.
Right, yeah. I just know it's green beans and French's onion something.
Yeah, you got to get the crisps. French onion crisps.
Right. And what is it? That's it?
And you can put like a can of like cream of chicken. Usually cream of chicken.
And you bake it.
And you bake it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never had that shit.
It's good though.
I hear it is tasty. I hear it is. I've never had it.
Maybe not.
No, bring me none. But but listen, no, we had a point of contention. Like, who's gonna make this mac and cheese? Chick-fil-A, they want $80 for a pan of their mac and cheese.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's delicious though.
It's not $80 delicious.
It's not $80 delicious. But she made some mac and cheese. I put her to the test. She said that she can make it. And we was like, oh, wait a minute. No, what do you mean you can make it? Okay, well, we need to do a test run. And, in fairness, what? She agreed to the test run. And you know what? She did a very good job. Very good job.
Right.
So it was very tasty. It was very cheesy. It was, oh man, it was cheese in every bite. I don't know if you ever had macaroni and cheese where it's just more yellow.
Just noodles.
It's just noodles and yellow coloring. It almost looks like it's been with the cheese that you used to get from the Dollar Tree. Mm-hmm. You remember that cheese?
Yeah, I remember that cheese.
Do you know that cheese does not melt?
I know. No matter how
you can
much.
hold a flame to it and it will not melt.
I know.
But I think my favorite thing is either the stuffing or I just like anything with gravy.
You know what's funny? I look back, like, do the Facebooks when I do the memories.
Yes.
And it came up the other day. I had made some sandwich and it had that cheese on it. And I was gloating about how good this. I was like, man, what was I thinking?
Yo, I think anything with gravy, I think is delicious. So listen, let's let the audience, if they're still, watching or whatever, the front runner New Jersey question of the week. What is your favorite item to eat for Thanksgiving?
That will be our poll question. We'll put it up.
Yeah.
That'll be our poll question. Well, with that said, we have been excited to get back on here. I know we'll be back on more consistently. Again, to be following us on social media. We've been growing the Instagram page. We've been growing the TikTok. I know that's the new platform of the younger folk. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of responses on there and a lot of follows on there, which we appreciate. Coach, what's your final thought of the day?
Nothing. Just good to be back. That's about it, man. Just keep following these sports. The Eagles game tomorrow night. Really it's over early. Yeah.
I hate the Monday night game. Man,
I do too.
I really do. I really like the 4:30 game on Sunday. I like the 4:30 Eagles game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you can have yourself a little something during the game as to eat. Mm-hmm. You can even indulge in one or two, and then you can watch the game, bed, you're good. And then you get all the stuff done early in the day.
Yeah, what's the 4:30 game today? It's the Packers and
the Packers.
Cowboys. It's gonna be a good game.
Packers.
It's gonna be a good game. Is Dak's back too? It's gonna be a good game.
And then what do you? And real quick, they had the 9:00 game this morning in London.
Who won?
The Bucks were whooping them out 21-3.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
What? Oh, what's going on with the Seahawks?
Yeah. I'm happy for Gino,
yeah.
I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was garbage in New York.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I'm happy for Gino.
Oh, that's a good one. You got the Rams and the Cardinals later. That's a good one.
Oh, okay.
All right. Jay, what's your final thought?
Just try to get through this week, man. Try to get back to just getting back in the groove of things. Glad to be off tomorrow. Try to get a little more rest. Just trying to wind down the year, man. The year's kind of going by, kind of fast, but a little slow, but kind of fast. Trying to wind down the year, man. And hopefully, I'm mad at Eagles not playing today. I think today they should be playing. Like I actually really want to see them. And do it. And you guys know I'm not an Eagle fan, but I'm rooting for them this year.
2023.
Yes, I actually got them going to the Super Bowl.
Okay,
I do. So the Giants play today?
They do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
Jets. I think the Jets have a bye week though. Jets have been playing well too. So, but I find myself rooting more for the Eagles than I do my own Giants. You know what I'm saying now?
Giants play the Texans.
Yeah. Today, what time? 4:30?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, so
Should be a win.
I'll root for them. You know, I'll root for them. But I don't know. I just find myself rooting for the Eagles. There's something about the Eagles and what they're doing and what this Hurts kid is doing. And maybe it's personal interest as well, because I know that the Carsoners are still out there.
They are out
They're still out there, man. They're still out there. They still love this man. I don't know why.
Oh,
You
no.
know? I don't know why. And shout out Dolph Shades too. He recently had a statue put up at the Sixers Walk of Fame or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you. You know, when they shouted him out, there was like no celebration, no clap, like because people don't remember him. I don't remember him, but from what I'm hearing, what people say, he was pretty tough.
Okay.
And if you get a statue, then you must be tough.
Everybody, because he's on the top 75. Right? That's the one everybody hates on. When they say this guy should have made it over Dolph, that's what everybody says, over Dolph Shades.
Wait, who should have made it?
Whenever somebody says,
it should have been over. It should have been over Dolph Shades.
Like, who's Dolph Shades?
Yeah,
like,
who's Dolph Shades?
That's what everybody says. That's the
I remember his son. I think Danny Shades.
Danny Shades,
right? He was garbage. You know what I'm saying? Well, he was in the league for a long time though. I didn't realize that.
Danny
Shades was in the league for a long time.
He was that guy.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So shout out to them too.
All right. Yeah, same thing. Excited about the game. You know,
about you?
I'm excited about the game. You know, and
are you okay now? Have you accepted the loss with the Phillies and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's time to put the hat away for the fall.
Okay.
You know, it's time. But I had to bring it out today for the one. For this show.
Wait a minute.
That was a jacket. It was just a jacket.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the hat was intentional. The jacket
was intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The jacket wasn't. Okay.
But and again, shout out, like you said, front runner New Jersey. We're going to have the front runner New Jersey fan poll of the week.
Yes.
So that was what we have. Like I said, we're excited to get the guests back on. We will be, and just in general, the continued support. I know it is cool. I know that we've been back on for the first time in a couple of weeks, but a lot of people when we're out say, "Oh, I watch your show, I follow it." So that's cool, and we appreciate the support. So, with that said, for Jason Bryce, from Marcus Bullock, I am Randy Dutkin. We appreciate you guys watching. Let's get it. Once again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, most recently, TikTok. It is the Let's.Get.It.podcast. I know it's a little confusing, but follow us, give us a like. Appreciate you guys watching.